So so we're gonna wait. So hello everyone, we're gonna wait till some people join. We're gonna start in 5 minutes, okay?
خلنا نرقد نتهنى يما نحكي لي بقلبي شفط شما وسواد البنا مش نعم بيقعد طوى في القمة صبت في بيتي والله ما سكتش مشيتش ثقة في ربي دولة ما بكتش سرسي بعوي من حاربة المافيا توا ما ركبتش معدي لما عدي انتي ما تعرف توا ما ركبتش
Hello everyone. So sorry for the noise, just a coffee spilled on my keyboard. So hello everyone, it's Connor here for. So everyone, do you hear me? Do you see my screen clearly? Just say yes in the chat please, just to be sure that everyone can hear me, everyone can see my screen. I want to see yes in the. Okay, so everyone can see me. Okay, so we're gonna start. This is honestly it's just a private call in my community, but I want to share it with everyone. So this is a call it midweek call. So in this call we just talk about the setups or the analysis we talked about in the weekly call and in Sunday. So we just update and talk about what's happening, what just happened in the Monday and Tuesday, and so in the first 3 days or 2 days in the week. So this is the watch list. We're gonna update it and we're gonna talk about some setups we missed and some zones we didn't catch. Okay, so we're gonna start with GBP USD. So for GBP USD, it's just we was waiting for this. So let me just take this one here. We're gonna minimize this one. Okay, so we're gonna move it here. Okay, so for GBP USD, we want to take a long from this demand on the daily time frame. This was a great, it's not a daily, 10 hour I think. Yeah, from the 10 hour time frame we have this demand, so we have this liquidity build up, this trend line. So from this point price just took the trend line liquidity and push higherly and build more future liquidity. So this future liquidity here. Okay, so now price just drop down and the break structure here, just a broke structure. Okay, so now I will wait till price taps into this demand, and I will look for confirmation to take a long, at least for some supply here or some higher supply here, or I will keep it. If this was the right structure, I will keep it. So it's depend on the price, how the price will react from this demand, or all the way to this higher external liquidity. So this is for GBP USD. So for AUD USD, we missed this nice supply. So after this swipe of liquidity, price tapped into a fair value gap here, small fair value gap, and just dropped. So we missed this. Yeah, I think at this point, no, at this point, yeah, at this fair value gap. So after taking this inducement here, price just dropped. So if you want to look for confirmation, so the confirmation entry will be, I think, from this point, because price here it's affected by a news. So price here took this low here, swipe liquidity from those lows here, okay, and then push away strongly and take the inducement that we talk about and take the New York high and then drop. So for the 2 minute, I think, yeah, from the 2 minute time frame, you can take a short from this supply, and price just dropped all the way from this supply all the way to the daily demand. So it's a big miss. So there is another re-entry after taking this inducement here, but it's into the SE session, so it's not a good time to trade. There is another opportunity here after taking this liquidity here. You can take on the low time frame, on the seconds, you can take or scale into this big move here all the way, or you can take this as a last re-entry after swiping the New York high. You can take long from this supply here, short, sorry, from this supply. Price totally dropped. So a lot of trade we missed. So because I was so busy. I hope someone of you maybe took those trades. So we're gonna talk about GBP JPY, okay? So we're gonna talk about all these pairs, okay? So for USD CAD now in interesting point of interest. So for USD CAD, we have here like, so for the past week, the price was at this point, I think. So at this point, we have clearly liquidity here, trend line, and we have here a clear other liquidity. So it's like a triangle pattern, I think. So price just, I was expecting this demand here, unmitigated, refined demand. I want to take from this demand here on the 20 minute to take a long, at least after swipe of this liquidity, and push away to take another liquidity. So price just took liquidity and didn't tap into my demand here at this point, and built another liquidity and swept it and pushed away all the way to this supply. So now I just was expecting price to give me some reaction here, but it's bad timing that we mitigate the zone. Maybe we have here some confirmation entry. It's look like we have here a distribution in the lower time frame, but it's not a good time to look for confirmation entry. Maybe after this liquidity swipe, maybe we can look for a confirmation entry and take a short, but it's not a good time to take trades. So now for USD CAD, I will wait for London to see what market will give us. So for USD CHF, so all those breakdowns or all those setups sent it to the team in Iskandar chart from the last week. Yeah, this all setups sent with the full video explaining all the setups, and now we are updating them, okay? So for USD CHF, I still wait. We have this big supply got mitigated, okay, but we have another deeper supply here. I was waiting to see deep retracement. So now for USD CHF, we have this inducement got taken out, reaction, other liquidity here got taken out, and of course the trend line took also out and pushed to the upside, took this high because a lot of smart money traders want to short from this, but the market just took them. So on to the 13-minute time frame, I'm looking for this supply maybe and this inducement to be taken out. So I prefer to see market just build another form of liquidity below here, maybe S in range, maybe give us another drop to this demand and build an S in range here. And in London we're gonna look for a short from this demand. If price build another here S in range, I would take aggressive entry from this point, and if this supply failed, I will look for the deep supply here to look for confirmation to short. Okay, so for CAD CHF we just missed this entry because price just come to our supply and dropped extremely, and another re-entry here I didn't take, and I just stayed away from the market from CAD CHF because we built here another form of liquidity, and at some point here today market take this liquidity and this liquidity and dropped, and now I'm looking for this 5 minute, I think 4 minutes, I'm looking for this 3-minute supply to take a short. So this is my next point of interest to take a short. So this is for CAD CHF. So for Euro AUD, it's totally big miss because price now hit my TP. So I was waiting for this 15-minute demand that swept a higher time frame liquidity, and I want price to take this build up liquidity and drop to our hidden demand and then push away, but the market didn't give us this move. So some of you maybe was waiting for this refined demand, but in the 13-minute time frame or the 45, I think the hourly time frame, I don't remember exactly which time frame, and the 2-hour time frame, I think. In the 3-hour time frame, market just swept the S in session here low and push it away strongly from our point of interest. Now market just took this high, this liquidity, it's S in session high, and I expect market to push more to the push to give us another push, maybe some retracement to this fair value gap or deeper fair value gap, and then continue to the upside. This is for Euro AUD. So for Euro CAD, it's a big miss. I missed this trade because here we have a higher time frame swipe of liquidity, price retrace all the way to this demand and pushed away, and price just built another form of liquidity below a nice supply to continue to the downside, but price came back all the way to this demand, to this 10-minute demand, took the inducement and then push it strongly to the upside. So I was expect a retracement to this demand and the real move will come, but we build liquidity, but in the S in session nothing happened, just another push, so nothing. I think this strong push to take this liquidity here, and a lot of you was waiting for this supply here. I don't remember exactly which time frame. Anyway, this supply, it's a good supply to take a short. Why? Because we have a swipe of liquidity before, a nice mitigation in London session for this higher order block on the new. So we don't have here any S in session high, didn't take. So this one order block was in New York session, took liquidity also before. So we have other mitigation, create another order block. So now I expect market to take this high and tapped into this supply and then maybe push to the downside. So remember, we still have more refined order block here. Price didn't mitigate it, so this high could be an inducement also. Okay, so this is for Euro CAD. So for Euro and ZD, this trade was sent it to the team. You all know about this trade, so it's so close to take a stop loss, but in the end the trade just was a successful trade. So let me break down this trade for you. So for Euro and ZD, we have this higher time frame, I think on the daily, not on the daily, like 10 hour. On the 10 hour, I was expecting market to come to this extreme demand. So this demand, we have a swipe of liquidity before, so this is a very strong high. So here we have a strong low, sorry, strong low. Okay, we have imbalance, so, and we have this liquidity above our point of interest, so we expected price to come, take this liquidity, tap into this demand, and then confirmation and push to the upside. But the confirmation, I got it here after just swipe of this low. So on the 10-minute time frame, this strong push to the upside and this build up of liquidity, I just decide to split my risk and take a long from this point. And if this point failed, I was planning to take another long here with my another risk partial. Okay, so the trade goes successfully, and let me show you this. I think this trade, Euro and ZD, yeah, I think this one. Yeah, it's this one. So this is the trade. Yeah, this is the trade. So goes successfully. It's a nice HR, very close. So this is Euro and ZD. So now let's go to the GBP CAD. So for GBP CAD, GBP CAD didn't tap into any point of interest. So now I was looking for this demand. I was expecting a short from this supplies, but prices run away from our supplies, so we're gonna wait till see. So I will look for confirmation from this demand or a confirmation to short from this supplies. Okay, and we still have another higher time frame liquidity here. So my expectation for GBP CAD, so we have nothing to look for, so we're just waiting. I will be patient. I will not force any trade on that pair, so I will just set an alert from this demand and another alert here. So let's see if price tapped into our point of interest. If any interest in price action, I will send it. So now for JPP AUD, so this breakdown sent to the team, and I said that this high could be a liquidity or a protected high, because this high here tapped into this fair value gap, but we don't have a deep retracement, a deep mitigation to this supply, because the supply start from this point. It's all supply, but we still have an imbalance. So now this was a liquidity. It's not now, it's clearly now a liquidity. It's not a protected high. So now I will look for London session. If price mitigate our supply, we're gonna look for confirmation entry. I want to see another S in range here below our zone, and then price took the high, give us a change of character, look for another lower time frame supply and short it all the way, all the way to this liquidity below here. Okay, so this is for GBP AUD. So this is my expectation. Let's see tomorrow what price will give us. Okay, so about this trade here, I didn't take it, I missed it, but I just draw the zone, but in the end I didn't take it. This trade was after this swipe of liquidity, price push it away and retrace in this zone here. We have this swipe of liquidity of the New York low. Okay, and we have with this higher time frame swipe of liquidity, and we have this 15-minute, I think 15-minute demand with ASEAN session liquidity below, so price just give this fake move to the downside, trap the retail sellers, and then push away. So like you know, ICT, so there is a model for those who watch it. ICT, we have this daily trap or daily cycle. We have this model that price give a range, okay, and then fake move, and then the real move. So let me explain what is the ICT model. So this is accumulation, and we have a manipulation, okay, and the last move here we have a distribution. So the same thing happened here. We have here this, all this is a manipulation, accumulation. Let's just use the colors, okay. So this here is, let's say this is, let me draw it properly, okay. So this is the accumulation, okay, and this move here to the downside, it's the manipulation. Let's draw it with red, and then okay, this is manipulation, and then the real move comes after it. It's this move, it's the distribution, okay. So we can just put it here, okay. So this is the distribution. So now if you don't want to take an aggressive entry from this demand, from this order block, so you can just wait after this push to the upside and break this structure here. You can take a trade from this, sorry, that's from this demand. Where is my yeah, from this demand you can take a trade here. It's in the London session, it's a good timing, it's into the kill zone, okay. So this one of the best ICT models you can use every day. It's happen every day in multiple pairs, okay. So it's 5R, you can take every day a 5R if you mastered this model here, okay. So this is the GBP AUD trade we miss. So now let's go to the GBP JPY. So for GBP JPY there is a lot of manipulation in the JPY pairs. So now we have this higher time frame, the daily swipe of liquidity, we have retracement, another swipe of liquidity. Now I see it's like the 2 hours, it's like a Wyckoff distribution. We have here multiple highs taken out, but those highs start to be close and close to each other. So we have this a little bit far, and this far, and this closer and closer and closer. So now I think this is the last move. This is the last move here. We have the UTED. So now, and we have this push to the downside, another swipe of liquidity here, or retracement, and now I'm looking for this 15, not 15, 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, 9, 7, yeah, I'm looking for this. Anyway, I'm looking for this supply. I'm looking for this supply to take a short for GBP JPY. So let's see what the market will give us. It's okay if this activated into the ASEAN session, because it's JPY pair, it will be active in ASEAN session. So my target will be at least for this low here. So this inducement I will take partial at this one, because price can push away from this demand. And like you see here, we have a clear liquidity below here, so the market could drop to take this internal liquidity, and maybe will continue from this kind of demand, because this last unmitigated demand that swept liquidity. So let's see what the market will give us. Let me change. Okay, so for JPP and ZD, it was the most trade, big trade. It's 33R, I miss it. So this trade, we sent this zone to the team. Like you see, we have here a higher time frame swipe of liquidity. Okay, price tapped into our zone, but the zone was in the daily time frame. Okay, so not the daily, I think the 10 hour. Yeah, I think 5 hour. Anyway, this our zone. Yeah, this is the zone, the higher time frame zone. I think it's not this one on the 4 hour. Yeah, on the 4 hour time frame, I was watching this zone after this swipe of liquidity. So let's come back here with the replay mode. So in the 10-minute time frame, we have this swipe of liquidity and strong push to the upside, and we just left behind some inducement. So we took a trade from this 10-minute, and we took also another trade here. So let me show you the trade. Yeah, this one exactly. So this one. So in the breakdown, I sent this 10-minute GPP and ZD, yeah, this one. So I set this 10-minute zone. So when we got a mitigation in London session, I just took another re-entry from this demand. On the 1-minute time frame, we just took this re-entry. So let me show you exactly the point. So we took this re-entry. Why? Because we have a nice push to the upside with liquidity built below. So price just came back, swipe the liquidity, tap into our zone, and push strongly. So after this push and after this break of structure on the 1-minute time frame, just we moved our stop loss to break even. So it's not to break even. We managed it below this low firstly, and when price broke this structure, we moved our stop loss to break even below this low. Okay, so then price mitigate this supply and dropped all the way. Why? The reason, it's because we have another form of, we just built another form of liquidity at this point. At this point, we built another form of liquidity. We have here a triple bottom, and then the market, after this strong move to the downside, market just pushed away to the upside. This one here, it's like the spread hour. So we have our SN, it's not a spread hour, this is the spread hour, this the SN session. So into the SN session we have the same ICT model. I think this is an accumulation and then distribution, and then this fake move, it's distribution, it's not accumulation, manipulation. Okay, this is manipulation, and then this is distribution. So in London session, I expect market to take this low because we generate more liquidity at this point. Take this low, tap into this, I think 14 minutes, yeah, tap into this demand and then push to the upside, but we missed the trade by a pip. So after this swipe of liquidity, we need to forget about this zone and look for another zone. Okay, so on the, I think the 5 minutes, on the 5 minute, not the 5 minutes, I think the, into the 10-minute time frame, I draw the zone, but I forget to set the limit. We have here a protected low because I thought this will be an inducement, and I just kept my eye on this zone. But the market, after this broke of structure, tap into this clear demand and then just fly. So this was a big miss. It's not, it was a nice trade. So you can take partial at this form of liquidity for 6R, another partial here, and another partial at this high, and now I think this extreme high the market will go to this extreme high to take external liquidity. Okay, so now let's move to AUD CAD. So AUD CAD, we have this zone on the 1 hour, we have this demand, daily demand. The market this just broke this, our demand failed, so we have now a deep retracement into our daily demand. So now I will wait to see one of those supplies failed. So when price tapped into this demand, we took a loss here. I took a loss from this point, I think, from this order block, and I sent to the team to wait to see, just wait to see this fresh supply to be failed, and we got change of character, but we didn't get a change of character. Price just continue to the downside. So now I will wait to see what the market will give us. So for AUD/CHF, the zones was already sent to the team and into the Escanor idea, but price just after taking this liquidity with just this tiny wick just drop even this zone. Price didn't come back. So if we got the fib and draw it from this high to this low, we didn't tap into a discounted area. It's not a deep retracement. So market, if come back all the way to this supply, I will look for short, absolutely. So now the market into the 100-minute time frame, into this demand now, because this demand took the liquidity before from this low here, sweep the liquidity. So now I'm just waiting to look for confirmation. I will look for long in London session. So this also could be a new liquidity. Okay, so and we have here future liquidity to take. So we're gonna look for confirmation for AUD/CHF. AUD/NZD also, it was a big miss. I was watching two zones, the first zone and the second zone of the 10-minute time frame. So this is the first zone, this is another deep zone. So I expect the market to take this low and this low on top into our zone and push all the way to some supply here in the higher time frame. But like you know, this is a daily supply, but in the end price just took me out at this demand, sweep the liquidity with this tiny wick. It's the news just made to take liquidity from side and took another side of liquidity. So now I am watching this supply. If price respect this supply and broke another structure, I will look for short, absolutely, on NZD or AUD/NZD. So for NZD/USD, all NZD/USD demands got failed. So we have this 1 hour demand failed, this demand failed. So now we have this for our demand. With that inducement, maybe we're gonna get a confirmation to take a long. So the NZD JPY in the 1 hour time frame, just I took a loss here, and after that market just dropped to the downside. I have nothing for NZD JPY now. For NZD CAD, I didn't get any confirmation at this demand, so now I will wait to see more develop. So now all pairs, like you see, you can rewatch this call and look for the same zones I look. So if any questions, you can ask before the Zoom end. So now you can ask me in the chat, just 5 minutes for the questions. If there is no questions, we're gonna just end the call, and this is it. Can you check your USD? Okay, so your USD, so it's similar to GBP USD. So for Euro USD, there is only one trade I took today at this lower time frame here, because it's on the 5 second. I didn't send to anyone because it was so fast. Okay, so Euro USD, we just have some liquidity building here. So now I am watching this demand maybe price if drop all the way to take this liquidity and tap this demand, I will look for a long, because we have here liquidity, 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 liquidity. Every those highs are liquidity. So now if price took those two highs and give us a nice confirmation, I will look for long absolutely from after swipe of this liquidity below here. So my expectation, maybe the price will take this liquidity, give us a confirmation, and go all the way to take this liquidity that generated above here. So maybe this supply will be a valid supply. If price show another reaction here, I will short it all the way to this bigger demand, yeah, and I will leave some partials to this higher time frame supply. Okay, so let me break down quickly the trade that I took here. So I took this trade on the 1 minute after the swipe of liquidity, as in session, as in high. So we have this push to the downside, and we have the last swipe of liquidity with those two tiny wicks. So price after that just shows some reaction on the 15-second time frame. So I took it from this supply, yeah, I think from this supply I took it with a market execution. So yeah, I just execute my trade here, and then price it push another, give another push to mitigate this deeper supply, and then drop all the way. So my TP was at this low. Why? Because we have here liquidity below here. So this is a fancy OB. A lot of traders will look to take a long from this OB, so price will just take this low and then push to the upside. So this one ended with hitting full TP. After that, price push all the way to the upside, build another form of liquidity here in the end of London, and then continue to the downside in New York session. So this is for Euro USD. So what's the indicator for boxes you use? It's ICT EPDA boxes. It's for the sessions. Okay, so when should we stop sell for AU? I am not sure for AU, so let's check the higher time frame structure. So for the higher time frame structure, like you see on the weekly time frame, we just took this liquidity below here. Okay, it's from a long time ago. Okay, so and then push it strongly to the upside. Okay, so now price after tapping into this daily supply, I expect market to take maybe more lows here and trying to fill this imbalance, and from this extreme demand maybe price will push and give us another run all the way to some highs here. Okay, because this is the market cycle. Okay, so we're gonna push all the way to the upside and retrace all the way, and then so all this is liquidity. Okay, so let me use the triangle. So here we build a liquidity. So with this push, everything below this high here, those low below this, those lows here are liquidity. So we come back all the way to take those liquidity. Okay, and now we have those highs. This one, we have those highs. This one, this one, this one. All those are liquidity. Okay, so we're gonna market need to balance himself, so we're gonna go all the way to balance all those highs, and when we push away and took those all those liquidity, we're gonna create more lows, so we're gonna come back all the way to take another the liquidity again, and this is it. So the market buy from the bottom and sell from the high. So this is the cycle of Euro USD. I think it's time now to give us a nice run to the upside. Okay, but we are on the weekly, so this will take maybe a year to happen. So now you need to watch some demands, and so this is the trading range from this low to this high. So we need to look for a buy sell until we tapped into more discounted demands on the higher time frame, and you can look for a swing to the upside. So USD CHF sell valid now, taking liquidity. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we come back again. Let's complete our, sorry. Okay, so let's wait for the other participant to complete our questions. Okay, sorry. So who asked me about USD CHF? So we need to pay for this Zoom to be, we need to upgrade our Zoom. So for USD CHF, who asked me about USD CHF, says we have a swipe of liquidity here. So like I said, I still waiting for this supply, extreme supply, to be mitigated, and then I will look for short. Okay, so if anyone other have if other one have a question, just post your question in the chat. I will answer it. If there is no questions, we're gonna close the call. Okay, okay, GBP NZD. So we talked about GBP NZD. So we talked about GBP NZD. I don't know if you just was with us in the first meet, and we said that GBP NZD will take this external liquidity. I will not trade this supply. Maybe some of you will look for this as a supply. So no, I will not look for this supply. Maybe if price give us a clear confirmation, I will short it to some, maybe some levels here. If not, so we're gonna wait to see what's gonna happen about GBP NZD. So hi sir, can you explain 5-minute or 15-minute Euro USD? So Euro USD on the 15-minute. So on the 15-minute, like you see, we're gonna just explained this trade, so we're gonna avoid this trade. So we have here a clear, today what's happening, we have a clear liquidity here above. So price, after taking the ASEAN high, this ASEAN liquidity, ASEAN high liquidity, drop to the downside and take this liquidity below and push all the way, generate more liquidity in London session, and push strongly to the downside to take this liquidity, because we have here a double bottom. Okay, all these are the liquidity. So market just come all the way to take this liquidity, and after this swipe, strong push, I think this was a news here, I don't remember, push all the way to this 15-minute supply, and now we're gonna see a continuation of structure all the way to this demand, I think, all the way to this demand maybe, and then we're gonna see another push to the upside to this supply. So this is my expectation, because we have this last break of structure, and this is a nice discounted area of demand. So with this push to the upside, price tapped into the daily supply, okay, and shows a distribution here. So I expect a buy here to sell. Okay, so this is for Euro USD. So in the 15-minute, maybe another opportunity will be tomorrow, short from this supply. Okay, because we generate more liquidity below here. Okay, so for tomorrow we can look for this supply to take a short. Why? I consider this high as a strong high. Why? Because we have a swipe of liquidity tapped into discounted extreme supply, nice drop to the downside. So what give me more confluence to take short from this supply? So if I saw another form of liquidity below here, if market, so this is a good. So if I saw just another build of liquidity below here, I will take aggressive entry and another confirmation entry, and I will hold the trade all the way to this demand. Okay, so this is my next point of interest for Euro USD. So what the most confirmation you use to enter, and do you use breaker order block and Fib? No. So for the Fibonacci, it's like just look for a discounted and premium zones. So for example, this lag here, we have, if we use the Fib from this high to this low, I will take a trade from those levels. So here clearly we have liquidity, so this is the best level to take short. You can just look by your eyes, so you don't need you need Fib. So this is about Fib. So the most confirmation entry, so let me draw it here. So we have a higher time frame, for example supply. Okay, we have a drop, another build of liquidity. Okay, a nice drop. So I like to see this liquidity in didn't stop into a premium level, so I want it into this discounted level. So this is what I want to see. I want to see another, so I want to see a swipe of liquidity here from this low, push to the upside, take this liquidity, mitigate our zone. So if we have a nice inducement here, this will be more confluence. So after this, after tapping into this supply, I want to see change of character. Okay, more liquidity in the lower time frame, generate here, and then tap into this refined supply that create the change of character. So there is a lot of things you need to watch, and then this is the best trade you can take. Okay, and target the extreme low, because this is external liquidity. Okay, so this one of the most trade I watch. Okay, so there is another trade I just started taking recently. So if we have, for example, this low here, this represents liquidity. If price take the liquidity, I will drop to the lower time frame and look for a confirmation like change of character, and take the trade from a fair value gap or a lower time frame demand, and take and target other supply or another form of liquidity. So this the two models I use. So let's go to the next question. Sorry. So which time frame supply demand works? All time frames, brother, all time frames. So if you just notice it, I have from the 1 second time frame to the weekly. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have all time frames. Okay, so I use all time frames. It's just about scrolling in time frames and look for the right zone. So what you need to choose the right zone, you need to see if this zone in discounted or premium by looking for structure, and you need to see an clear engulfing candle after this zone, and you need to look for some imbalance with it. Okay, so like we see, if you have inducement with it, this will be a good. Okay, so GU, next possible move, it's similar to AU, like you know. So it's similar to EU. So I'm just waiting for this demand, higher time frame demand, to be mitigated, and then I will look for confirmation. We just here generate more liquidity for the future. Okay, so I missed this trade. today. So I was so busy, I didn't take any trades today, just one trade for Euro USD. So now the next move maybe this supply. Okay, with this inducement here will be a nice supply, okay, to take a short. But if we take the fib and just draw it, yeah, it's discounted also, so this supply will be good to take trade. I will avoid this extreme supply. What the fuck is this? What these blue lines? Okay. Okay, any other questions? So you're not depending on volume. You know, I don't depend on volume. Okay, so we're gonna close the call now. So this call was recorded, so I'm gonna post it in my community and in YouTube, so you can rewatch it. So okay, see you all later. Have a good week. So this call end. Okay.